Hello everyone, welcome to the Financial Information channel. My name is Marvin. In this video I'm going to give you my stock portfolio and I'm going to give you the channel giveaway winner. Now let's begin with the video, and before anything I'm going to announce the channel giveaway winner. I'm going to put on the screen and his name is Jeff. So I'm going to contact you via message and I'm going to send you the $10 gift card from Amazon. Now let's begin with my portfolio and I'm going to explain when did I begin investing into the stocks and why. And the first thing I'm going to announce my retirement account. I have it through Vanguard and I have the following funds. Those are index funds, and the first fund is an index fund, is the BFIAX. I have around 70% in that index, and that is the Admiral shares from the BFINX. And basically Admiral shares have lower expense ratio, which means they have to pay less in order to have that index fund. And that index funds cover the S&P 500. Now let's go to the next fund, and the next fund is the BTIX, and I have around 20%, and that's the International Index Fund, and it is the Admiral share from BGTSX. And the next fund is the BTBLX, and I have around 10%, and it is the Admiral share from BBMFX. So basically I have 70% in the S&P 500, 20% in international, and 10% in bonds. By the way, Vanguard have the best index funds. I'm gonna do a video soon about retirement and how you can start opening a retirement account. And now I'm going to mention the long-term investment stocks. And the first company that I'm going to mention is the one that I have kept for the longest in my account. It's Constellation Brands. I started investing in that company on October 24, 2012. I ended up buying shares at the price of $35 per share. And why I ended up buying shares of Constellation Brands? They're a beverage company. The first company that I bought shares was Coke. And since I saw an opportunity where the beer was producing more revenue, I ended up switching from Coke to Constellation Brands. In addition, I used to go out a lot, so I saw a lot of people drink those beers that Constellation Brands have under its portfolio. And the next company was the one that I mentioned. I did a review. That's Facebook. I'm gonna put the review here. And actually, the newest share price that I bought was at the price of $50. I bought shares back to the company back in October 30, 2013. And in that review, I mentioned that I actually ended up buying shares in 2012. I sold them in 2013 for a loss. This is the new price that I bought, which was the $50 per share. And why Facebook? And the reason is simple. A lot of people that I know were using Facebook at the time. So that was one of the companies that was actually having a lot of cash. And as you have seen in the review, they have been able to create their revenue and increase it every year. And the next company that you see on the screen is Procter & Gamble. I ended up buying shares at the price of $83 per share. And at the time, I ended up buying the shares on October 15, 2014. And the reason why I bought shares in Procter & Gamble, at the time I thought that the company was going to set new highs. However, it actually ended up pulling back a huge amount. However, at this moment, I'm actually positive in the company. And it was also an opportunity to diversify my account because it is a good company, it has a good dividend. And the next company that I bought shares was on September 28th, and that is Alphabet. I bought shares at the price of $600 per share. And the reason is simple. Alphabet had one of the best fundamentals in the stock market. And the last company in this portfolio is gonna be Apple. And for Apple, I bought shares at the price of $113 on November 16, 2015. At the time, I thought that Apple was going to have a new design for the iPhone. At the time, I thought that it was a really good price to get into Apple. I always wanted to get into Apple back then. However, I missed the chance to invest in Apple back in 2011. And it was funny because when I started investing in Apple, I think a couple weeks later, the company ended up dropping to the price of $91 or $92 per share. And those are the long-term investment stocks. I've been thinking during the last few months that I need to drop one of those stocks out of the group. Most likely it's going to be one of the technology stocks. Now let's go for the short-term investment group, and I'm going to show you the stocks that I own. And one thing before I show you my short-term investing is you will see a lot of companies This is not recommended for any investors. I have a lot of companies because 2017 it is a very unique year where we have seen a lot of growth. However, in a normal year, you should only keep anywhere between 1 to 3 stocks at the max. And the first company is gonna be Alibaba. I ended up buying shares on November 10 at the price of $80 per share. And the reason why I bought Alibaba, at the time I wanted to have one of the retails that were in the e-commerce space, and Amazon had a huge price. In addition, Alibaba is an international stock, so that was going to give me another company to be diversified. And to be honest, from 2015 to 2016, the company didn't do anything for me, but I learned from my mistakes that I did with Facebook. Instead of being impatient, I ended up keeping the Alibaba shares, and look at the share price now, it has gone up quite a huge amount. And the next company that I bought was Activision Blizzard. I paid the price of $36 per share on December 5th, 2016. And why Activision Blizzard? The company released a game which was Call of Duty, and that game wasn't that good last year. So the company made a lot of good moves, and that time when the company had a huge drop was an opportunity to buy shares. The next company was Universal Displays. I ended up buying shares on December 12th at the price of $60 per share. And why Universal Displays? I ended up seeing a TV back in one of the Las Vegas CES, and I knew that this technology was going to be the future. And in 2016, I ended up doing more research about the company. I ended up becoming more interested into the company. In fact, I ended up getting one of the TVs, and in my opinion, the products are becoming more accessible to everyone, which is always a good thing. Now for the next company, it's gonna be AMD. I ended up buying shares on April 7, 2017 at the share price of $13.50. I ended up getting AMD because the company has gone up such a huge amount in 2016, and in my opinion, they were announcing the new video game cards. Those video game cards were called Vega, and in my opinion, they were going to give the company a huge profit during the next few years. However, it became the opposite. The CPU chips ended up becoming the main source of income for 2017, and it has been quite a disappointment. The company hasn't gone up as much, in my opinion, since I began investing into the company. Now for the next company, Applied Materials. I ended up buying shares on April 13, 2017 at the share price of 38. Now this is a good company that has good fundamentals and is in the semiconductor space. And if you haven't seen by now, the semiconductors have gone up over 1,000 since 2009. And in my opinion, there's still gonna be a huge demand, and this company helps produce a lot of the Universal Display products and memory chips. It does a lot of things right. Now for the next company, I ended up getting Baozun a few days later. I ended up getting Baozun at the share price of $15 per share on April 15, 2017. Now this company has become one of the best companies in 2017 in the stock market. Now I have been trading the stock around throughout these months. However, the opportunity to invest for the long term is still gonna be there. You can check the video here. And in addition, I have made a lot of videos about Baozun during the last few months. And the next company that I bought shares was JP Morgan and Chase on June 6, 2017. I bought shares at the price of $83, and because I see a lot of interest rate hikes during the next few years. In addition, the financials pay a good dividend and are not as volatile as the technology stocks. Now for the next stock is gonna be Southwest Airlines. I ended up buying shares for the first time on June 15, 2017. Now I ended up getting shares of Southwest because I thought in the short term the company was going to go to the $65 price. However, it had become the opposite. The company actually pulled back a huge amount, and it is one of the companies that I'm negative in 2017. Now for the next company is gonna be another company that I mentioned a lot in the channel. That's gonna be Micron. I ended up buying shares on July 3rd, 2017 at the share price of $30. Most people ended up panicking when the company had a huge drop in July. Now I don't have that many shares for this company anymore because I sold most of my shares before the company announced earnings. I missed on the profit that the company had made The company share price is almost at the $40 price. However, I made a lot of money in the company, so I cannot complain. And the next company I ended up buying on July 5th, that was Bank of America. I ended up buying shares at the price of $24.80. I ended up buying this company because the company had good fundamentals, had good dividend, and I think had the chance to increase the dividend for the next few years. In addition, is another financials where I think the interest rate hikes that are gonna happen during the next few years is gonna help this company. And now for the next company is Aramas Pharmaceutical. I paid $15 per share on August 15, 2017. And why this company? Well, the company had been having a lot of good news, and I thought it had a good chance of having the drug approved by the FDA. I don't have that many shares in this company since I think biotech companies are a little bit risky. And the next company is IPGP. I ended up buying shares at the price of $165 on August 17, 2017. And just like I mentioned in the video here, this is one of the best run companies. It has a lot of market share in their industry. The only thing is, I wish that I had invested into the company sooner because the company share price had gone up a huge amount in 2017. And the other company that I'm negative is Supernus Pharmaceutical. I ended up buying shares at the price of $48 on September 12, 2017. And a few days later, the company made a huge bad announcement and the company share price dropped down a huge amount. Most of the shares were sold at the $45 price. I ended up taking a loss. I still have some position in this company. And this is one of the reasons why pharmaceutical stocks are very risky. One announcement can have a huge impact into the company. And one of the latest companies that I started investing is Adobe. I actually announced it in one of the videos. I ended up buying shares at the price of $150. And I ended up buying shares on September 20th, 2017. And just like I have mentioned in many videos, this company is well run and it has a lot of good products. I was expecting the company to drop after the quarter they posted in July or June, and it didn't. And since it dropped in September, that was an opportunity to buy shares in the company. And I think Adobe ended up dropping around $143, I think. And that was an excellent opportunity to buy more shares. And the last company that I have bought is Momo. I ended up buying shares on September 27. And the last company that I have bought shares was on September 29 at the share price of $31.33, and that is Momo. And Momo has good fundamentals. It is in China that presents a huge opportunity for growth, and it has presented good earnings during the last few quarters. You just need to have patience and not panic when the company drops a huge amount. And most likely during the next few months, I'm gonna cut at least 8 of these companies out of my portfolio. You should never be this spread out. However, in 2017, it was a unique year and there has been a lot of growth throughout all the sectors. As a new investor, you should keep anywhere between 1 to 3 companies at the most. And before I explain the options that I have under my account, I'm gonna do a video about options that is gonna come out in my channel in the next few days. And now for my options, I'm gonna show you my options. The first one is Nvidia. I have call options for Nvidia that are gonna expire on October 2017. And the next companies I have 2 call options for November. The first one is Qualcomm that I have call options on November 2017, and the second company is Facebook that I have call options that are gonna expire on November 2017. And the next 2 companies I have call options. The first one is Oracle that I have call options that are gonna expire on December 2017, and Adobe that are gonna expire on December 2017. And the last company that I have call options is gonna be Alibaba. I have call options that are gonna expire on January 2018. Those Alibaba call options are looking really good right now. We will see what happens during the next few months. And that is gonna be everything for the video. Please leave in the comment section below if you have any of the stocks mentioned in this video. Now you have seen all my portfolio, you have seen my stocks and my options. Now please remember to subscribe to the financial information channel. I'm gonna continue bringing videos about the stock market, personal finance, and how to make money online. I want to thank you once again for watching the video. Have an excellent day and take care, my friends.